Rama 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 भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी राम सूरत कुमारार्पणमस्तु। Once again, let us celebrate the spring well of grace of Bhagavan that gave us one more opportunity to worship Him with the Nama Pushpas. Before we submit our today's prayer, let us shift ourselves. Let us climb this time machine and go back to the 80s. What do we see there at Sanadi State House? Bhagavan seated with quite a few devotees and was narrating a story. How even the greatest devotees could easily fall into the pit of Maya until we reach the state of oneness with the divine, with the absolute divine, and be established in it. There is always the danger of falling down. It's like if we have a floor which is very slippery, and by some chance there's a little oil somewhere, and you set your foot on that, and you know how disastrous it would be. This can happen to our ego also. Until we become one with the divine, when the ego is completely destroyed, Manonasham, they call it, the destruction of the mind, once for all. There is always this danger of slipping down, and the results could be disastrous, devastating. Bhagavan started to tell a story. He said even a bhakta who is completely devoted to God can develop pride over it. A person who does a lot of social service He suddenly become aware that he is doing a lot of social service and he may develop ego over it. And a bhakta may become suddenly aware that he has a lot of bhakti and there is no one like him. And again, that is the little oil on the slippery floor. And you know what happens. Bhagavan started to tell the story that Sri Narad, we all know how perfect Narad should have been. His composition, Narad Bhakti Sutras, the aphorisms of Narad on bhakti, the devotion, is very well known. Literature, many of us are aware of already. And one day, but all these leelas of great people, Narad was so no small bhakta. He was in a very advanced state. He was already one with Narayana, but these leelas are being played by them to teach the humanity a lesson. So it was a play acting, one could say, that Narad developed this ego, this self-pride over his devotion to Sri Narayana. He was always chanting. And Sri Narayana, of course, he knew and he wanted to cut him to size. It was his responsibility to shape the devotee to perfection. So, one day, in front of Narada, he created a beautiful land and a beautiful girl. So beautiful was she, even the little self-pride that Narada developed brought him to his body awareness, body consciousness. And one look at that beautiful girl, suddenly, from nowhere, jumped a thought, oh, I should marry this beautiful girl. And then he knew that to marry this beautiful girl who was the princess of a huge kingdom, there would be many handsome kings and very valorous too would be attending, and he might not stand a chance at all the way he looked. So he hurried to Sri Hari's Vaikuntha and begged before him, Hey Narayan, you know how great a bhakta am I to you, and I have a prayer to make to you. Please give me the handsomeness, the beauty of Sri Hari. And while galloping through the words, he used the word Hari. Please give me the beauty of Hari. Give me Hari's face. He meant Sri Hari, Sri Narayan of Vaikuntha, the divine beauty. And of course, it was all true, right from the beginning. Every detail was designed by Sri Narayana himself. So Narayana said, so be it. And Narad was very happy. So he started to advance towards that palace of the kingdom where they had announced Swayamvar, where of course the bride was given the freedom to choose the man she loved or she wanted among the lot. We are talking about the special rights of women today, but even then it was there. A bride, a beautiful girl, was given the freedom to choose. So he attended, he went there, not knowing that he had a monkey face. Hari in Sanskrit, a Sanskrit word, has many meanings. One of the meanings is monkey. One is Sri Hari himself. The other meaning is monkey. And by a twist, Sri Narayana granted this because he created the whole drama to teach Narad a lesson. So Narad went there with this monkey face and sat there all the time thinking that he was the most handsome man in the whole assembly. And he even imagined that the beautiful princess would come straight to him and garland to show everyone that he was to be the husband. To his great shock and horror, the princess came near and made a comment, "Oh my God, to my Swayamvar, a monkey has come. What a twist. What a joke it is." He was horrified when he heard the comment from the princess. And then, of course, the princess went ahead and garlanded someone else. Now, completely disappointed. Narad left the place in a hurry, and on the way, he looked at himself in a well. There was still water, and he looked at his face, and then he found again, to a great shock and horror, this face of monkey. And suddenly it flashed that the word had two meanings. One, the beauty of Sri Hari, the other, the face of a monkey. And he knew instantly that Narayana had played a game with him, that he was cheated by none other than Sri Narayana, whom he worshipped all the time. It was his name, Narayana, that he was chanting all the time. And to me, such a devotee who chants his name all the time, this humiliation, this horrid twist, how could Narayan do it to me, whom I adore? How terrible. He almost died at the thought that Sri Narayan had played a game with him, cheating him into this humiliation. He rushed there. He was all anger, red, with an angry face. He rushed to Narayan. I said, "Hey Narayan, how could you do this to me? Don't you know how much I worship you, how much I chant your name?" "Of course you do. Why would you do this to me? This horrid joke, how could you play on me?" And then, out of anger, he gave a curse to his Aradhya, his god of worship. One day, you too would feel, just as I lost a beautiful princess, and I'm still smarting from the humiliation and the suffering, you too would go through this experience. I curse you. Srinarayan smiled and accepted the curse. And then he revealed what was involved in that. And Narad, the minute Srihari removed the net of Maya from Narad, Narad immediately realized what he had gone through, and he felt very ashamed that he should behave in such a way, and that Srinarayana, he cursed his own God, whom he adored and worshipped all the time. This is what Maya does to all of us. Bhagavan ended the story. All the while it was Bhagavan who was narrating the story to the people around, saying the human mind being what it is, with its identification with the body and the ego, is likely to slip down any moment until he becomes one with God and is established in it. It's not becoming God, just having an experience now. It's not a short time experience. It must be continued, established state of experience where the mind is completely burnt out, completely destroyed, manonash. Raman Maharishi says even manolayam is not safe. Just falling into a state of trance for some time and coming out. There's no guarantee you have reached the state. So Bhagavan was saying, don't ever think that you are a great bhakta. Don't ever think that you are chanting the name all the time. The minute the thought comes, you can be very sure there will be a downslope waiting for you. And you would fall into abysmal depths. So Bhagavan said, be humble always. And in your seva to God or your Guru, this humility is very, very important. Instead of finding fault with other people, find out what you are lacking. And you fight inside, control your own mind. This morning we saw how the name Manjeet, Bhagavan said it means the one who has control his mind. So Bhagavan said, do not fight outside with people, do not find fault with them. Instead, you fight inside your own mind, you correct your own faults. And the minute you develop pride over anything, be prepared for a hit by the divine. It is the job of the divine to cut you to size and to shape you to perfection. Wisdom would be born out of it, and that is a great blessing. Now this Bhagavan is here. So one prescription of Bhagavan is to all the devotees, keep chanting the name of God and go about your work. Namu japte raho, kam karte raho. Keep on chanting the name and do your work as an offering to God. This is the best and the simplest and the highest and the fastest way to nirvana. The Guru would take you in no time to that state. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to go into a forest to do your meditation for years. In a fraction of a second, the Guru can elevate you to that state. So do your seva as an offering to the Guru all the time, chanting his name, and nothing more is required. The Guru will see to the rest. Jai Yogiram Sir.